All right, we're back here. I don't know why that went down so low like that. Keep it up. Keep it up. There you go. Don't do that. We're doing so well. Let's not do that now. Slam Radio, Sirius XM 145. Insights, our next guest. How many Grammys, Louis?
Well, 5 Christian Grammys and now a gold plaque.
Wow. Congratulations to you. I am having a bit of a hard time here. There we go. Now I see. Our next guest, he's been here for Slamathon 1 and 2. This guy is a music producer like nobody's business. It's unreal, man. He, as well as Luke, as well as Larry, a proud citizen of Hialeah, Florida. Oh, yeah.
Agua, Fango y Factoría.
Agua, Fangito y Factoría. We got Louis Cancion in the house. Louis! What's up, Papa?
Aquí, bro. With you, get to spend time with you. I'm happy.
I always enjoy it. I saw you in the parking lot the other day, but I was going to wave, and then I was like, let him go.
Ran out in the Tesla.
We appreciate you coming in studio, joining us. Love talking to you. Our kids love talking to you. They're going to take it away. You've got Camila, you've got Armando, you've got Emiliano, and of course you have Amaya.
Oh.
A myriad of questions about your music career.
Awesome.
So good that Luke stuck around. So we got Hialeah in the house triple time.
Double.
Full time, como decimos en Hialeah. Triple trouble, actually, with you. We'll leave it right here with the one and only Louis Cancion on Insights, Slam Radio, Sirius XM. Take it away, guys.
Luis Cancion. It's an honor to have you here, honestly, and it's...
Bro, pleasure.
And I love everything you do. And, you know, why are we starting already?
Nothing. It's just the way, like, I love everything you do.
All right, bro.
If you love it, I'm happy.
Across multiple genres and, like, other styles of music that you've basically worked with, how did you, like, work on keeping your own style onto it, like, your own twist on it?
Well, every producer will tell you that their upbringing influences how they approach their musical, like their genre or how they approach creativity. So for me, growing up, my mom used to play me a lot of R&B, a lot of Mariah Carey's, a lot of Michael Jackson and Stevie Wonder, a lot of the stuff that maybe a lot of you guys don't listen to right now. But I grew up listening to that. So whenever I approach and I sit down to do something, I just think about those things. It comes immediately through my head. And then that, you know, mixed with a little bit of what's going on right now is how I approach and create what I'm creating. So that's, every producer would tell you the same thing. Like their upbringing really has everything to do with how they approach art. So that's how I usually think about it.
Well, as we were stating earlier, you have a name for yourself, 5-time nominee, making billboards. My question for you is, how do you soak in the moment and appreciate and comprehend the astounding work you do, but without not letting it get to your head and not letting it like take over and have that rose tinted glasses and realize what I make is good or what I make is bad?
That's called having a wife. So when you have a wife, you can do amazing stuff like this or like travel and do something with somebody really, really dope. But then you get home and they're like, hey, like pack up the trash like this, take out the trash.
Humbled.
And then you have your kid telling you he wants to play with toys. Like you get home and there's none of that. It doesn't exist. But you get to have that balance. So if you marry the right person, they'll kind of keep you on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I know that you work with a lot of people in the industry, of course. You have to work so that you can produce something and everything like that. But I want to know how you handle creative differences. Sometimes people won't see things the way you do, so I want to know how you communicate that.
Well, you know, I've been doing music since I was like around maybe 12 years old, since middle school. Mm-hmm. So maybe around to where this school is at, kind of. You guys are high school,
yeah.
K through 12, right? Mm-mm. So let's say that if it was someone in this school, I would have already been in this type of school, and then 12 years old doing that. So as you start growing up, right? Mm-hmm. Went through high school, went through college. I started to work regular jobs. Mm-hmm. You know, I had to kind of survive. So Starbucks, I was making your coffee.
For real?
No wonder my coffee was so good at one point.
It was very musical coffees and making your coffee. I would make beats like while I was
humming while doing
it. So then I was working call center jobs as well. I was picking up your calls. Hey, what's up? Hey guys, Luis Calderon here. How can I serve you today? You know? All of that taught me how to communicate with people and how to relate with people and how to have a conversation. So when I had my moment to blast my career a little bit and the Lord kind of opened up a door for me, I brought in all those things with me. So I got to bring my talent and also the customer service, the coffee maker. I got to bring all that stuff together too. So to answer your question, when I sit down with someone and they say, hey, I don't like this, the customer service comes out of me. Oh, you don't like that? I do apologize about that. Now, why don't we try again? You know, bring in the customer service, whip out a brand new production, and sometimes that works. And it goes back to my last answer. Like a lot of the stuff that you learn upbringing, like in school right now, in Slamathon, you bring it with you to throughout your career.
So, sorry to interrupt. So looking at your career, you work on hip hop, R&B, and then full 180 gospel music.
Yeah.
So how do you, like, working on different genres, how do you adjust your artistic perspective to ensure that these songs, like, they don't sound the same and, like...
Love it.
Yeah.
That's a great question. Well, that's where creativity comes in. So what I do with music for the ears is the same thing that someone does with a painting. How do you make sure that that painting doesn't look the same for everyone that you sell it to, right? It's really getting inspired. Like there's moments, you know, where I'll listen to stuff that my wife likes. She likes indie pop, so like Tame Impala, like very hippie vibes music. So I'll listen to that and that might inspire something for me to do on a hip hop beat that's different, you know? I'm a Christian, so I'll listen to a worship song or a gospel song that will inspire me, and I might do that on another record. So it's always staying creative and on your feet. So like what you guys are doing right now, getting different people coming in and learning how they talk and answering back. That's how you kind of put in your numbers and your hours. It's the same thing that I'll do here. It's constantly listen to new music, see what song is blasting right now, and then kind of learn it. And almost like what they say, great artists create, the best artists steal. So kind of taking a little bit from other stuff and putting it into your own work, and that's how you kind of build, like, staying creative and not making things sound the same. So
I have to ask before I ask my real question. Is CANCION your real last name?
I wish, but it's not.
Okay.
It was actually, as I mentioned before, I'm a Christian, right? So we strongly believe that God can speak through anything or anyone, right? And there was this individual that came up to me and told me that name, and I never forgot it, so I put it into my business. That was something that stayed with me ever since. Because I feel like I was created to make music, like to work on people's canciones, which means, you know, their songs.
Yeah.
And that's how I changed lives. So that's...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to ask, I know a lot of people say in the music production world that, oh, you don't need music theory to produce music. Is that something you believe in, or do you think that music theory is important?
What do you think?
I think it definitely matters.
It matters. Okay.
Yeah, it definitely matters.
What do you guys think?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think
I
that matters.
believe so. I feel like it's structure. I feel like it's anything else. If I want to learn a history class, learn a journalism class, anything, I need a format, a structure.
Okay. So you guys do broadcast. Like, do you
Yeah.
feel like you need broadcast history or the technical side of broadcast to do broadcast?
Yo, when did your name go from Luis Cancion to Luis La Periodista? You're turning into a journalist. You're asking also questions.
Wait, the table turned.
No, it's a serious question. Like, do you guys think you guys do broadcast? So, like, do you guys feel like you need to know the
Yes.
history and the technicalities of broadcast to do broadcast?
I mean,
Technicality.
shout out to Milan, right? We had freshman year, we did not get thrown into the mic. I think Amayo Grufos. We weren't thrown onto the mic. We had to take what he called boot camp, where we had to learn everything, learn the basics. What's hot mean? What does this mean? Like, you have to understand what
She
you're
forgot all
doing.
the other vocabulary words.
It's 46 words.
No, keep going. What other words do we learn?
Microphone.
Double
But no,
clutch.
double clutch. Like,
So some
we have
technical-
to learn the terminology before we get to use it. Because what happens when we're on the sea? He goes, the mic's hot. The mic is hot. We're like, oh, is it burning? No, it's too loud.
But do you feel like maybe you also needed to have that communicational skill at
course,
least?
yeah.
I mean, for
Yes.
me, to be honest, I just talk.
So you're good at talking, so you didn't really need too much of the.
No, but he did teach us that when
Yeah.
someone is talking, it's my turn to talk and then it's your turn to talk. We can't talk over each other.
That's true.
It doesn't sound good when someone is just listening in the car. You know what I mean? It's not like a
Yeah.
regular conversation that we're having. People are listening to us, which people tend to forget.
I was absent in that class that day.
That's what. No,
All right. No, but to go on that, yes, it's needed. Just like music theory, it's something that we need and allowed to. But
so that's what I was gonna say with that. Is it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Some people are born and raised with that musical natural talent of saying, "Oh, like that sounds good, that doesn't." And then over time, they perfect it by maybe going to school or learning a little bit more about music theory, which what notes work with what notes, how do drums work, how do guitars work. So it's always, there's never a one size fit all because a lot of the majority of the artists that pop right now don't have musical backgrounds. Like they've never played a guitar, but they have a hit song. In contrary to back in the day, you had to actually be a Whitney Houston level singer to make it, you know? So it's always different. It's a little bit of both. Sometimes it's a little bit of talent and some theory, and then other times it's a lot of theory and a little bit of talent. So it's the same thing with you guys. You guys are good at communication, but you learn also the technicalities and bring it together. It's the same thing here.
so a question I have: you have garnered over 300 million streams, which I find that crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
What is one advice you would give to a starting up producer who's struggling to captivate an audience?
That's a good question.
Ooh, you know it's good when he gets stuck.
That's a great question. Give me some guardrails. Like, are we talking about creatively or just business wise or just anything?
I would say both. First, the creative market of like, I want to be original, but I also want to put my personality in there and like, but also get an audience. Like, I have to be popular in some way. Or the business way of how do I get connections? How do I talk to people? How do I do this? I think it's both aspects that needed to be a great producer.
That's a great question. Okay, so I think every professional needs to put in their 1,000 hours. So they say the way to mastery is 1,000 hours of something. And 1,000 hours takes a long time. Think about this. There's 24 hours, right? From here to tomorrow. So 1,000 is what? How many days is that?
I'm not good at algebra.
Calculator is opening right now.
Oh yeah, 1 + 1 = 2.
Hold
Right?
on,
So
we have our math genius over there. Milian, what is 1,000 divided by 24?
That would be 40. I think it's 41.66. You can look it up.
Wow.
he guessed that.
Mark that. Mark that.
Yes,
Somebody mark
it is
that.
real.
Was I right? I linked
24 hour.
Yes, you were right.
You're an animal.
God.
You're insane.
Did that really just happen?
So guys,
my
welcome to Slam Insights, where we have a human calculator
This guy's
in the
an animal.
room. That is insane.
The moral of the story is 1,000 hours takes a long time, but if you put in your 1,000 hours, you're gonna work your way to mastery. The idea is, you know, what my advice would be for a producer is, hey, get to mastery. Put in your 1,000 hours. You know, sometimes that comes with free work. It comes with free time. It also comes with doing it when you don't want to.
Yeah.
So like, I'm pretty sure you guys are up here sometimes talking to people and you don't want to talk. It's the same thing. You do a song for that person even if you don't want to do it. Because eventually you're gonna get to 1,000 hours and you're gonna get to that mastery level, and then Snoop Dogg calls you. And they're like, hey, you're a master. I need you to do this beat. It's the same thing here. So 1,000 hours, and then also is have passion for it and love it. If you love it, it will grow. If you don't, then people will know that it's not authentic.
Yeah.
So
What do you think would be the biggest misconception about being a producer that you really want people to like try and understand?
that's a really good question. You guys have great questions.
It's called the prep, the setup.
Yeah, that prep is strong.
Yeah, there was no setup with that math equation. Got lucky.
How did you
I
do
really
that?
did get
How
lucky.
did you do
Yo,
that?
that's insane.
I'm pretty good at math.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Because he didn't even say
So they
40.
do this all the time to me.
1,000 hours.
Something else.
How many days is 1,000 hours?
How many days? 1,000 hours. That's interesting. Well, that's 40.
It's the same thing. Yeah, same
That's
thing.
why-
41.66 days.
That's why I asked, what's 1,000 divided by 24?
Okay, that makes sense.
Maybe I'm good at
Animal.
algebra. Whoa.
Animal.
That's literally 6 weeks. That's like a few minutes. That's a few minutes shy.
In reality, so then look at that. Do something for 41.6 days, 1,000 hours, and you'll become a master at that. Whatever
Is that
it
the
is.
case?
That's pretty crazy.
You know how many hours of radio I've done?
You're
I'm not a master yet.
you're a godfather, bro.
I don't know about that. They're the masters as they do great work. They've been asking great questions here. You're listening to Insights. And our student broadcaster's talking to Grammy Award winning producer, one and only, who is CANCION. I'm going to let them keep asking you questions, but I'm going to interject one of mine. You're crazy to think that I can actually rap a song that will even sound remotely good. Yeah. Have you ever run into a talent all stoked, ready to go, and you're ready to start producing, and they kind of stink?
No names.
I'm not naming any names, but
No, I don't want you to out anybody, please.
okay, fine. What I
I
will
want you
do.
to out somebody.
Well, I just did an Olympic rock climber that wanted to do music. And they flew from LA and they came over and recorded at the studio. And that was a very, very difficult situation. But thank God for the creation of auto-tune.
Oh, God.
We were able to do pretty good, and she's harbored a few thousand streams, and it's worked out pretty well. So, but sometimes you gotta use your 1,000 hours to do miracles.
Thank you, radio, for teaching me. And now do my research. But I wanted to know, how do you know, or how do you decide a song is finished? Like, how are you okay and
That's a
step away
really good
from
question, because everybody, even artists that are experienced, always ask that. Like, how do I know when it's done? And I think it's the same way as a chef when he's making his meal and preparing his meal for his table. Is he tastes it, and he just out of his palate, out of experience, and out of knowing what good tastes like, it's a quick taste to know, okay, this is good, and to pass it on out. It's the same way that when you finish a song, you should be able to hear it one time with fresh ears and say, wow, this portrays what I want to say. It sounds good. This is all I need. And you let it go. But there's also the perspective of art where they say you can add on to a painting forever. So it's also learning how to let go. It's, knowing that the art does what it has to do and just saying, I'm going to take a step back and let people decide what they feel about this.
What do you...
So that leads into my second question.
My trick question.
Yeah, and my other question. How do you feel about songs that you produced before your 1,000 hours or that you're hearing now? Like, how do you feel about them now? Yeah.
I was talking to my wife about this today. Because I used to listen. This is how you know when you get good at something, is when you can listen back to it maybe a few years later and say, wow, that's still good. Like,
Wow.
that's how you know that you've got into a place that you're good. Because before that, I would listen to my works and say, wow, I did that for Stranger Things. That sounds okay, It's really knowing, like, when you get to that point where you're happy with what you do as a person, as an artist, someone who does art, then you know that you're in the right place. You're growing.
So, oh wow, that was really loud. Hold on. So,
Hot.
That was hot.
my bad.
Word number
Radio
44.
terminology. But so you've told us about the music that you had to produce for this, unfortunately, untalented rock climber. So, what was it like working on your very first project? Like, do you think the person that you were working with, were they also lacking in talent, or were you producing it for like a film, like you mentioned, Stranger Things? Like, how was it for you?
Well, I feel like when you're starting off, it's almost like if life takes you through those beginner projects. Usually you start off with your beginner level things. So you never get like a huge project on your first one. That's a very rare opportunity. But usually you'll start off with your level ones in life. And then the feeling you have is almost like, how do I do this? Like, are they going to like it? You send it and you're like, oh, like fingers crossed. Hopefully they like that, It's always full of doubt and kind of like insecurity a little bit. But as you start growing to your level 2s, your level 3s, you put in your more hours, it starts to become more comfortable. Like, oh, they're going to like it, Or maybe if they don't, I'll switch it, but it's going to be good. You start to gain more confidence, in other words. But the first experience I had was working on a church project for a Christian artist, and it was a reggae record. And you know what? I look back on it, and it wasn't that bad. I feel like growing up in music and around very professional people, like I had already an ear to kind of determine like what was at least suitable. So it wasn't as hard for me as other people. But yeah, that was kind of, that's kind of what it feels like. It usually feels uncomfortable and insecure.
So, how do you feel about the terminology imposter syndrome? What have you ever experienced imposter syndrome, and how do you work with it? How do you work with the feeling of no matter how much you do, how much effort you put, 1,000, 2,000, God pie amount of hours that you do all the time, you still feel like it's not enough,
Like
or
a
you don't,
hypocrite.
or you don't deserve what you have gotten.
Well, I mean, if I'm being honest, I just went through that last week, actually. I was talking to my wife about that because I got presented an opportunity with the biggest audio channel for engineers. It's actually called Audio Nerds. So it's like the biggest audio engineering channel you can get. And I got contacted to do some things. And I looked at my wife while we were in Target and I was like, I don't know if I deserve that.
Shout out Target.
Target is where everything happens. And I looked at my wife and I said, I don't know if I deserve this. Like, why are they calling me and not Drake's guy? You know? I think it hits everybody at one point where you're in a room full of people that are way bigger than you and it makes you feel like small. And it's normal. It means that you're growing. So imposter syndrome is just a sign that you're in a place of growth because everyone around you feels bigger than you are. So it's normal to me. But yeah, I've been through that.
Does Rod Temperton ring a bell to you?
Rob Temperton, but your not that, but your mathematical skills
Did I leave you floored? I
are on my mind.
rock with you all night.
Dance you into
the
the
sunlight. Rock with you. Rod Temperton. You don't know who that is?
You mean Michael Jackson?
Of course I know what that is.
Yeah, but the guy behind the scenes name was Rod Temperton, and you're the guy behind the scenes whenever a musician puts music together.
That's
And
factual.
if they want to win a Grammy or get noticed, you got to go to Louis CANCION. CANCION in Spanish is song. No coincidence.
Craziest thing of life.
He is the master of songs
I'll take it. I'll take it.
every day of the week. He's going to help me be something.
We
Talk
have
about
to do
Forrest
this.
Gumping, right?
Are we gonna do this?
We're going to do it. I need Luke. If I don't get Luke, I ain't doing it.
We're gonna get Luke. We're gonna get Luke in this.
You're in there?
Wait,
Yeah, we're going to collab and do this. It's going to be a Slam Radio rap song.
We're gonna do this.
I'm going to freak you out, man. It gives you a history lesson.
oh, so we're actually doing it instead of
We're
not
going to
doing
do
it for 2 years?
We're going to
after
really
you're
do
gonna
it this time. Yeah. I'm inspired.
Wow, that was
How,
the biggest.
how many
call-
years has it been since we announced?
2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
Can you believe it's been 2 years?
Almost 2 years since we brought that up.
Last time it happened,
incredible.
I was 14.
Yeah.
We're excited
Hey.
to do it. I'm ready to do it. I don't care. I need him because I'm
All
not
right.
doing. I'm not a featured artist on this.
We're gonna work this out with.
I think. I mean, I don't. He could be a collab because he's got his own career. He doesn't want to knock it down by doing a Slam Radio song. But
We're gonna make.
I'll be the name on it. But like again, I can't do it without him. We gotta talk to DJ Laz, right?
We're gonna do this, and then we're gonna make it like the theme song of the podcast.
Sounds like the entire station. What are you talking about? This is 24/7, 365, baby.
Let's go.
168 hours a week, 52 weeks a year. Don't make me do that math.
I know that you can. Funny.
Roughly 84,600. But who's counting, right?
but who's counting except for you?
Not me. Huh? Louis, thank you for coming through, man. This has been amazing. The next 2 hours are going to be even more amazing. We're going to feature 2 of our seniors, our main seniors in the program. One is our GM. One has been like a mother hen teaching kids to jump on the air when she was one of the shyest people the first 2 years in this program. Great story with Amiari. I'm going to get to interview her, and she doesn't know it yet, but her peers are going to ask her a few questions. It's just me and her at the table, the peers in the background just cheering her on. What a great way to say goodbye to a senior in this program, huh?
Wow.
We're going to showcase her. We're going to showcase our GM, Naria Feblis.
Growth.
And then these kids are going to interview Frank Fernandez and little old me. That's what's left of Insights. 2 more hours, 10 down. Thank you. I hope you can stick around. I know you got a little bit of a busy schedule. I saw the sun here, but whatever. If not, you can catch it on replay, right? We'll be playing it all weekend here on Slam Radio. When we come back, Amiari Irizarry, senior extraordinaire, developer of talent. An amazing story here at Slam Radio. I am so excited to interview her. She's up next. Insights, Sirius XM.